Before we get into this episode, there's something that might be of interest that I wanted to tell you about. Scene and Heard, who run this podcast, have been asked by Scotland Food and Drink to undertake a strategic review of the Scotland Food and Drink Excellence Awards. Now, these Excellence Awards have been going for almost 20 years and are a huge mainstay of the food and drink sector. But it's time to ensure that they're still relevant. So if you have ever been involved in the Scotland Food and Drink Excellence Awards, or even if you've ever had an opinion about them, we would love for you, please, to complete our survey. So if you go to the OnFARM Twitter, which is at @on_farm UK, and click the link in the bio, there will be a tab in there that will take you to the survey, and it should only take you a very short while to complete, but we would be enormously grateful.
Welcome to this OnFARM podcast, part of a series in conjunction with the Royal Highland Agricultural Society of Scotland. My name's Monty. The Highland Show didn't happen this year, and very obviously, because of COVID restrictions, there are no other agricultural shows in Scotland this year either. We are doing all that we can to try and fill the hole. This episode 10 is looking at what it's like to win in the livestock rings. First, we're going to recall something that RHASS Chief Executive Alan Laidlaw said right at the start of this series.
We talk about the Royal Highland Show and the emotion of it being cancelled, but there's huge positive emotions. You know, if you finally get your hands on that piece of silverware that your granddad first won, decades ago, and this has been your career pinnacle, we get people bouncing into the trophy room very upbeat, and then instantly there's a reflection. Actually, this is a career high. When I get my hands on that piece of silver, that is me reached one of my bucket list things. And those stories are really powerful, and we've got some real glue in the society and the Highland Show about those sort of things. And I think if we can give some air to some of those, they're nice reflections, but also they remind us that, what we do is important.
In this episode, and in the next, we're talking about silverware and rosettes. Next time, Anna will be talking about all things equestrian. But today, we're in the stock ring.
Nessie was at the show as a yearling, and she was only third in her class, but we always thought she would be better as a 2-year-old.
So this is Tracey Nicol. Tracey and her husband David breed Charley cattle with Major David Walter at Balthayock Farms near Perth. 2019 was the Major's 50th year of competing at the Highland, and the team had pinned their hopes on a heifer by the name of Balthayock Nessie. Tracey says there was a special something about Nessie from very early on.
All animals, they usually have that wee bit of spark and look at me, and you usually can tell from a few weeks old, they've got that bit of style about them to catch the judge's eye. But she always had a bit of style, and she still does. When you go out to the field, she's the first one at the gate, and she's like, I'm the boss, I'm the queen bee,
I'm no showman, but I do know what Tracey's talking about there. There is an early moment when you do recognise that an individual beast has got something special. From the showing point of view, that's when the hard work begins. It's got to be fed right, it's got to be groomed right, it's got to be washed, it's got to be conditioned, it's got to be whatever, but just all the hard work and some secrets and special little tasks that go to make that beast look just right for its big day. And imagine if that big day is the Highland Show. There you are. You're walking out into the ring at Ingliston with thousands of pairs of eyes watching your and the beast's every move.
Words can't really describe how it feels. Your stomach is doing somersaults, especially if you know you've got quite a good animal and you've got a good chance. It's the nervous energy. Your heart is thumping in your chest.
That second year of showing, Nessie won her Charley class and then went on to progress right through the Charley classes. So there was another big outing to the ring, this time for the Interbreed Championship.
We're out in the Interbreed there, and we're up against Britain's best animals. Davy was leading her and I was tapping her on,
So the animals are walked round the ring under the watchful eye of the judge. It's quite a drawn-out process, but you get why it's a drawn-out process, because, you know, these are the best animals. These are absolutely the best animals at the pinnacle of their game. After all that scrutiny, a hush descends. All goes quiet. Then the judge has a word with the steward. And the steward walks forward and tap on the rump of the winning beast. So this year that we're talking about, which was actually 2019, for the first time in 50 years of showing at the Highland, Balthayock Farms have an interbreed champion.
It was a tremendous feeling to get the slap and the heifer to get a slap and be pulled forward as overall champion. Like, it made all those early morning, late nights worth it. Like, you know, it's just that 10 seconds is... I'll never forget it. The only regret I have is that my dad and Davey's dad weren't there. They're no longer there to see it, because I know they've been so proud, because my father would have loved to win that trophy after winning, you know, showing at the shows for all these years. He supported the Highland. I think they'd be pretty chuffed to them if they'd seen it, like, you know. But he was there with us because he had my father's lucky halter on the heifer, like. So I think his bit of luck helped us along the way, because showing is a lot to do with luck as well.
Huge congratulations to Tracey and Davey and to Major Walter. I guess that would be a moment to savour forever. So, after achieving such a win, what happens next? Now we're going to have a bit of a look at that. And it's all about trophies and silverware.
You don't really see the trophies until you go up to the room. Trophies are all round you and all different shapes and size, and the history it goes with them. Like, you're just reading some of the names on some of those trophies. You know, it goes back decades. Like, you know, it tells a story, that trophy room. Like, you know.
Hi, hello. My name's David Tennant, and I'm the competitions manager for the Royal Highland Show. It's the highlight of their career for a lot of people. It is the pinnacle. So many of these people, they start off at their local show. The aim and the dream is to go and lift a trophy and get that red rosette or that tricolour rosette at the Royal Highland Show. The number of years of work for that, and when that actually pays off, the elation that you see in people is enormous. It's absolutely enormous. Some people will get that once, some people will get that a few times, but I'm not sure you'll probably be that first time, to be honest. I think that first time is pretty special for people.
David is also in charge of getting all the show animals on and off the site at Ingleston. It's a bit of a logistical challenge, as I'm sure you can all imagine.
We have about 4,500 animals on the showground at one time. That breaks down into about 1,000 cattle, 2,000 sheep, 1,500 horses, and then everything else makes up the rest of it. So it's a big job getting all them in the right place at the right time.
Absolutely. Can you talk us through what it's like on show day in the trophy room?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, when the winners get given their prize card in the ring, they get given a letter with it, which is their engraving letter for the trophy. So they'll go put their animal away, fill that in, and then come up to the office. The office is just at the top of the stairs as you come up upstairs in the Highland Hall. And if you catch people there, the eyes just brighten up. It's just a shining sea of silverware. You can see the excitement and the anticipation and wondering which one is theirs. It's fantastic, and yeah, you do even get people in tears of happiness because maybe their father won the trophy before them, or their grandfather, and there's a real family connection to these trophies, or maybe even their family was the ones that donated the trophy initially, or even if they're a first time winner, there's a great scale of emotions that come into the office about the trophies, and it's lovely to see. It's one of the best parts of the job, to be honest. We also have a presentation for 4 of the trophies in Ingleston House, and there are 4 main ones. So that's your Queen's Cup, which is for the best overall animal in a section. You've got the John Miller, which is for the best stock person, and you also have the Scottish Farmer Trophy and the Royal Bank of Scotland Trophy. And that's another very emotional environment to be in. People getting to go into the boardroom at Ingleston House and be presented with these trophies. It's quite something to see.
With all this year's cancellations, the closest thing we've got to a 2020 show has been the Scottish Farmer Champions of the Decade competition. And from that competition emerged the Dairy Champion of the Decade, bred by the Laird family at Blythebridge Farm, Goldwyn, Rosalie. Here's Colin Laird.
We're here at Blythe Farm in Peeblesshire. We're standing in our newly constructed dairy building, which we milk 450 cows in.
It's obviously a very professional setup. I'm just interested, why do you also show cattle?
It's pretty much an obsession that we have. We do enjoy working with our cows, and it's probably just kind of like the icing on the cake for the industry that we're in.
And you've done very well in the show ring. Do you want to talk us through some of the highlights of the last few years?
This is Colin's father that's speaking. My name's Alastair.
Hi, Alastair.
I think probably always the highlight is always winning the Royal Highland Show. It's your local show. It certainly is our local show, but it's a fantastic show to show at. We've won it 9 times in all, maybe 10 times if you count the Cow of the Decade this year. It's maybe cheating a bit right enough, because we'd rather have been in the show field beside the rest. We've also won the European Dairy event, we've won the UK Dairy Expo. What else have we won?
Dairy Day.
The Dairy Day. So we get our fair share. Agri-Scot, we've won Agri-Scot a few times. It's always nice to win with a homebred cow, and the cow that won the Cow of the Decade was a homebred cow.
Aye, it's always there's always a buzz. It's always an honour and a pleasure when you get to parade your animal that you've been either breeding or purchased into a national show like the Highland Show. You know, you've spent all those hours and time in the lead up to the show, and then, you know, that's a big moment going into the ring there. There's a buzz there, you know, always at the Highland Show. That's a show that certainly doesn't lack a buzz about the ring. You know, if doesn't matter whether it's yourself that's winning or somebody else, you know, there's big cheers and that when the judge makes his final decisions.
What does it feel like to win?
Oh, it's the best feeling in the world. You feel on top of the world. I can still remember the first time I don't think we even won the Highland Show. It was when we were reserve, which would be in 94 or 95. You know, and I can just remember myself and my sister standing at the side of the ring crying. And we hadn't really done an awful lot for it at that time. And aye, it's moments like that keep you coming back for the next year.
And do you think it's going to continue? Is this the plan for the next generation as well?
Aye, no, as we said, it's a family affair. We've a young daughter and a young son here that, you know, it'll not be long before they need to be taking a calf to the shows, and it'll start all over again.
And what age does that all start at? What age are young handlers?
Young handlers can start from, you know, you'll see kids going in the ring with their parents at, you know, 5 or 6 year old. That's where it all really starts from, and then it finishes when you're 26. Then you have to find something else to do. You start doing it with the real cows.
And is that how you got the bug, Colin? Starting off with the young handlers?
Aye, no, that definitely. You know, we used to have a white rope halter, and Mum or Dad would push the calf, and we would pull the calf, and sometimes the calf would just pull you.
Is it the winning that counts? Is that why you keep coming back for more in the show ring?
It helps. Both the Highland Show and these other shows that we've mentioned, Agri-Scot, you know, there's competitors come from all over the UK, sometimes even Northern Ireland as well, to compete at these shows. So, you know, they are well respected, high regarded shows that we're competing at.
I don't know if we're at the top of the game, but we're always striving to be there. It's great for our business. We sell heifers, we sell bulls, and it helps to give us the herd a good name. Our show cows are our hobby, they're our lives. Sometimes I'd think I'd maybe be better off being a show cow than a farmer, because they do get pampered a bit. We've started on the next show team for the next year's Royal Highland Show, so hopefully it's a success.
Colin, do you want to talk us through a little bit of what's involved in bringing out a top show animal?
Well, it starts a long way back when we were breeding our cows. Our our whole herd. It's always something in the back of our mind that we're trying to breed a productive, profitable animal, but we take a lot of time to think about how we're going to breed the cows with which bulls. And then you see these calves running about in the calf pens, the ones that stick out, and these are the ones that kind of catch your eye, and you always remember them when they calve down. It's not really until they calve down and they get an udder between their legs, and we can see the potential whether we want to take that animal and put her onto almost like a show programme where we feed them a bit different and get them halter trained obviously, and then before the shows you're washing the cows every day to keep them in tip-top condition.
Do you think the other cows are jealous of the show team?
I'm pretty sure they are. They do stand looking over the gate wondering why they're getting all the special attention.
Could you maybe just talk us through the finer points in one of the cows in the shed there, please?
Well, the cow I'm standing looking at just now is a cow that won the Royal Highland Show the last 2 years in 2018 and 2019. Her name is Jessie. Her aspects are we want a good broad muzzle and a bright eye and a good alert ear and a nice fine shoulder and a nice level top line. She had a beautiful top line and she had good legs and a good udder, and her udder's carried high with plenty of venation on her udder, which makes her look, the dairiness comes out of her with the venations on her udder. We want her to be deep off her rib with plenty of depth of body. You need this depth of body so that she can eat plenty of roughage to produce milk. How's that?
Tip top. And it sounds like you've got the next generation there with you as well, is that right?
Here she is. She's been feeding the calves with her gran. Her face is covered in milk powder.
But she's happy.
She seems happy. You going to speak to the man? You going to say hello? What's your calf's name? Rumour.
Her calf's Rumour.
She has a Jersey calf, and Chloe's 2, and she already has a calf of her own.
Good stuff. Well done, Chloe. So, thank you very much to Colin, Alastair, Izzy and the children, and the cows have been very well behaved as well in the background. Thank you very much, team.
Okay, right, thanks for your... Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
She's shy.
I'm sure from that section you've gathered that top-level showing is very often a family affair. So for the second half of this OnFARM episode, here's another award-winning team, this time on the sheep side of things.
Right, I'm Rocket Runciman from Alan Shaw's.
My name's Amanda Runciman and I'm Rocket's wife.
I'm Lewis Runciman and I work for my dad, Rocket.
I'm Libby Runciman, daughter, 15 and going into 5th year.
There's about 900 sheep, which is what I've been involved with since I left the school. It's all I'm interested in. We have cows, but they're just there to keep the grass down for the sheep. The cows are very commercial. They're Simmental cows and a shorthorn bull to put onto them, and breed heifers for myself and for other people. The sheep are all pedigree sheep, mainly North Country Cheviots with pure Texels, pure Suffolks and pure Blueheads.
Cool. We're going to really talk about showing. Who does what shows are involved, that's the kind of thing. So we'll maybe start with Amanda, because Amanda, you keep the show on the road, is that right?
I am mainly the chef, if you'd like to call it. And I just keep tabs on everybody. I do help at the local shows because we take 2 stock boxes, so I drive one of them. Normally they're getting judged at the same time, the 2 different breeds of sheep, so we have to all hands on deck. So it's usually Libby and myself doing one breed and Roderick and Lewis doing the other breed.
Lewis, you're showing 2 different breeds here. Do you want to talk to us about that? What's the 2 breeds and what goes on?
We show our North Country Cheviots, which Dad's been showing a lot of his life, and we've just started showing pure Texels. We quite like taking 2 breeds, we've got 2 different chances.
What's your favourite of the 2?
I like the Cheviots, so I'm mainly show the Cheviots, and just leave the texels for whoever wants to do them.
And what, it's a shop window rocket, is that? I mean, I know that's a cliche, but is that the driving force behind it? Is it to sell the sheep?
The big shop window is the Highland Show. That's the main one. We go to the local shows to keep the shows going. I think that a sheep with no livestock, a show with no livestock is not a show. The shows wouldn't survive without livestock. We're trying to educate the general public, and we're also doing what we enjoy doing and showing sheep and trying to beat the competitors.
Do you feel quite competitive about it all?
If you weren't competitive, you wouldn't show.
Yeah.
Winning is not the be-all and end-all. It's great if you do win, and I don't mind getting beat by a sheep if it's better than my own. At the end of the day, the judge is always right in his eyes.
In his eyes.
Well, it's true.
Maybe not in other people's eyes.
In your eyes, because you've been a judge as well, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So where have you judged, Rocket?
Me, I've judged from Orkney right down Thurso, down. I've judged all over the borders. I've judged all over Scotland. I've judged the interbreed at the Yorkshire show. I've judged the interbreed at the Devon and Cornwall show. I've judged at Balthayock. I've judged the interbreed at the Irish, what do you call Irish?
Balmoral.
The Balmoral show.
And Anglesey.
Anglesey, and we were asked to judge at the Royal Norfolk show this year, but obviously it was cancelled, so we had 3 or 4 nights booked down there, so hopefully we'll get asked back next year. And after the Royal Norfolk show, the day after the Royal Norfolk show, we're going to Fittercairn to judge.
Here, that's a road trip and a half. Norfolk to Fittercairn, is it not? So, Libby, have you been involved, and what's your kind of role in the showing side of things, or bringing sheep on, or whatever?
Just help get them ready to put in the ring and show them sometimes.
At the local shows, you've had a bit of success in young handlers, have you not?
I won at Dalkeith one year with a tup. Texel tup, yeah. I don't know what else I've won.
You've had a few others?
Yeah, a few others.
Rosettes?
Yeah.
Of varying colours.
And Lewis, you were involved in what do they call it? Is it a league, basically?
Yeah, well, all the local shows in the Borders, Champion and Reserve, qualify for Champions of Champions Young Handlers in at Peebles show, and the first year I went, I took 2 sheep. The main sheep that I would show in the Young Handlers went on to win my class, and then went overall sheep champion. It was in the Champions of Champions. So luckily we brought a second sheep, so I had to show it in the Young Handlers, while Dad was in the main ring at People's to show the Champions of Champions. I don't think I got on very well in the Young Handlers, but I think Dad got Reserve Champion and Champions of Champions.
So wait a minute, you put your dad in the Young Handlers? No.
Nah, Dad had to go into the main ring to go up against a horse and a cow and a duck probably.
Very good. Rocket, what are your big moments of the Highland Show? What's your big successes been?
The biggest success I've had at the Highland Show is the overall in 2014, but the most memorable has to be the first time I got the Cheviot Championship. That was in 2009. That was just a dream come true for me. And then I got beat 2010, and then I went on and won 11, 12, 13 and 14, 4 years in a row, which is probably, I'll never manage to do that again. You need to have the right sheep for the right judge on the day, and you need it coming out into the ring sparkling.
So Lewis, do you think it's a good thing? It is a good thing, isn't it, to basically support the local shows and what have you as much as possible?
Yeah, we like to keep them going. We would hate to see Haddington, Dalkeith without any sheep or stuff like that. I don't think they could survive, so we like to take 10 or 20 sheep to them just to kind of try to keep them going, and we enjoy to show, just to have fun in the ring.
And if you take sheep, someone else takes sheep.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if we take sheep and they see us there, they're like, oh, we want to try beat them next year, so they bring more sheep, and then it'll just puts the numbers up.
What's your favourite show?
Oh, probably have to say the Highland Show, because it goes on for the longest, and and it'll be even better next year till I'll be 18, so I can do all the young farmer things.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Amanda, what's your best favourite show memory?
My favourite show memory will be at the sidelines when Roderick's in the interbreed competition and waiting for the judge to tap his stick on Roderick's sheep, and it's quite emotional because I remember someone that when the year that happened and someone went, she's not even noticed, but I had my sunglasses on and I was howling greeting because it really is quite an emotional thing. So yeah, it's proud at the sidelines. Proud moment, that's right, a proud moment.
Did it bring a tear to your eye, Libby?
Nothing will.
Yeah, it's quite a good moment. Seeing your dad win the shows.
It's better when you're holding the sheep though and you get a red ticket though, is it?
Yeah, it's quite good, yeah. I'd like doing it, but it's just remembering all the stuff you need to remember.
What do you need to remember?
The breeding of the sheep, like the age, how you prepared for the day.
The name, sometimes you get asked
Yeah,
its name.
usually to make up a name if they don't have one.
We're missing the social side of it. The social side of the Highland Show, and of the little shows, because we're here all the time. The kids have been, Libby's been doing schooling at home. Lewis has left school now, so he's been working with his dad, but it's just four of us all together.
Missed the crack.
We're missing the crack.
Yeah. What's a kissed party, Rocket? What's a kissed party after a big win at the Highland? What's the kissed party like?
The kissed party is just having drinks together within your breed, and you can get a blether and you can criticise the judge and you can
compliment the judge,
sympathise with the judge. And it's good just the kiss parties keep the breeds together and have a good chin wag and catch up and speak about what had been happening in the judging that day.
So will it be a monumental kissed party at the shows next year? Well, especially at the Highland next year.
It's a great possibility.
Anticipation.
The biggest kissed party of all kissed parties, eh?
It could just be one big one.
Yeah. The problem in the sheep lines, though, is it gets dark and cold.
Go on, keep going.
Well, yeah. There's many a years we've sat with 2-3 layers on, sitting in those sheep lines with the wind howling through, but we're adamant we're not moving, and it's pitch dark by the time you do move.
And a wee bit of alcohol inside you always heats it up, does it not?
Yeah, you've got a bit of inner heat. Yeah, that's true.
So what's Monday morning like after the Highland Show?
Tired. Quite tired. For 4 days is quite a long time. But it's great to get home, you get round all the sheep and you get to see that everything's fine. And then lunchtime and then usually a power nap.
all the rest of the day.
For the rest of the afternoon.
Is that alright?
That's fine. That's good. I tell you one more thing. Did you meet royalty at the show one year? Is that right?
The first year I won the Chieviets at the Highland Show, which was in 2009. There were one of the sheep stewards came up to me and said that the Queen would like to meet you because she wanted to meet the champion Cheviot and its breeder and the champion Blackie and its breeder. I honestly thought he was pulling my leg to start with, but lo and behold, he wasn't. So on the Saturday morning we had to go out into a ring and stand with this sheep, and then Her Majesty herself came along, which is a big honour to shake hands and meet her like. And she was very nice to speak to and very easy to speak to, and she knew her stuff.
And was she as honoured to meet you?
Yes.
So that's it. That's it for this time. All over again. I've really enjoyed this episode of OnFARM, and I hope you have too. Thank you to all of the Runcimans, the Lairds, RHASS competitions manager David Tennant, and to Tracey Nicol. If you know someone who'd love OnFARM too, but might not be so keen on technology, please help them. Take them in hand, take their phone in hand if you have to, tap the buttons, show them how easy it is to listen. I'm sure they'll thank you for it. It's Anna next episode in the equestrian rings, so in the words of another agricultural broadcaster from the borders, that's it for me, and bye for now.